These are terrible times, of course, and I imagine how difficult your job has been in these last few days. First, give us, please, an overview of the situation there in the Middle East, both in Israel and Iran.
Well, in Israel, of course, you already know that the Iron Dome was successful in intercepting over 300 drones, which were fired from Iran. In fact, some were also shot down by Jordan because it was passing through Jordanian airspace. Not all the missiles were fired from Iran. There were from other countries as well. A many-pronged attack. There were some from Iraq, for example, from Yemen, from Lebanon, all directed towards Israel. But the Israelis were prepared, and no casualties, including Filipino casualties, occurred. So what is happening now is that the international community, including the Philippines, are calling for all parties, in this case, for example, Israel, not to escalate tensions, because the Iranians already said before the international community that they have made their response. They gave an answer to Israel's attack on their embassy, and they consider the matter, well, we've done it. It's like, you did this, we did this. Case, so we're equal, we're even. We move on. But it depends on how the Israelis will move, given that they already are facing various hostilities. There's still a situation in Gaza, and the attacks from the Hezbollah in southern Lebanon towards northern Israel. But right now, the Filipinos in Israel themselves are safe. There are no indications that they want to go home, according to Ambassador Jun Laido. He has made just the standard advisory for them to take precautions, be careful, and avoid certain areas. The Filipinos know that. I myself have served as a diplomat in Israel, so that's part of everyday living in Israel, being prepared, being ready in case the sirens strike or sound, and you're supposed to shield yourself or go to the bomb shelters. There are concerns, of course, from the world, but I'm a diplomat, and we're always optimistic for a peaceful solution and that cooler heads will prevail. There are 30,000 in Israel, just 2,000 in Iran. But in both cases, we'll be ready to bring them home in case they want to go home. Right, but our ambassadors have not yet indicated that that is necessary.
Usec, I just wanted to know what would be the Philippines' official diplomatic position in this conflict. As you said, we have Filipinos in both countries, way more in Israel than in Iran. But where is the Philippines positioning itself officially?
Well, we say we're a friend to all, enemy to none. And we're one of the few countries, for example, in Southeast Asia, which have diplomatic relations with all countries involved. We have diplomatic relations with the Israelis, with the Iranians, with the Palestinians, and with most Arab countries in the region, with all Arab countries in the region. So we are in a position to balance. We have our interests in Israel, of course, but we also are friendly with Iran. So our position, as highlighted by the DFA statement, is that we just call on all parties to exercise restraint because, well, the Philippines has always been known to be an advocate for peaceful settlement of disputes and the rule of law, international law, for all of us to adhere to the principles of international law. So that includes nonviolence. And the United States is our ally. The president just came from there. And the United States president himself is telling Israel, we're your allies. But in effect, you won in the sense that they attacked you, but there were no casualties. So we're even. It's time to move on instead of trying to inflict or attack Iran further. For Iran's part, they were able to show their people that they would respond to Israel in case Israel attacked them. And you could see from the streets of Iran, the Iranian people are happy that the Iranian government launched this counter-strike. Although there were no attacks, no casualties, the message was clear. Remember, it was not just from Iran, which where the missiles came from. Surrounding countries also fired at Israel. Not as many as Iran did, but it seemed to be a concerted effort. So it was a message to Israel.
Right.
So in that case,